So Ken, thoughts from last night's game, betting takeaways from last night's game with the Bills really handing it to the reigning defending Super Bowl champion Rams in their house.
Yeah, I have some thoughts on the Rams too, but we can definitely do the Bills first for sure. Entered the season as the Super Bowl favorite, entered the season with the favorite to win most valuable player. And when those teams that fit that description like really hit in their first week, like they play exactly or better than we would have expected, then it really sets up like an interesting, not just a conversation today, it sets up like an interesting first month to 6 weeks of the season, because like every season kind of works a little differently, right? Some seasons you don't really, some seasons there's no great team. Some seasons maybe you don't know who the great team is until like midway through. A team starts really putting forward like a series of great performances in November and December, and then it becomes obvious. Sometimes it never materializes. Sometimes we have like two or three that stand out above everybody else. Every season's different. It is possible, because last night started like this, that Buffalo will be the team to chase for the first 6 to 8 weeks, basically. That like if this is what it's going to be like, and they don't have to win every game by, against playoff teams by 3 touchdowns. I mean, it could have been 8 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, we'll talk about that in a second. But from a pricing standpoint, it's not, because I heard some people today be like, oh, well, like now you're never going to get a good price to bet the Bills. And my response is like, well, you're never going to get the same price. That's true. But like, what if their true price is still less? That's like what you're going to have to try to solve here is, okay, it's going to keep shortening. Are they really that good? Are they really that awesome where 5 should be 3 and they're a favorite against everyone? And like, that's the decision to have to make, basically. So it's, I don't like when it's framed as you're never going to get a good price on them. Be like, well, what's a good price? What if they're the best team in the league by far? 5 sounds pretty good if that's true. If they're the best team in the league by far and they're going to get the bye. So it's possible they're that team. Before the year, they were one of the very small number of teams for me that was like an obvious Super Bowl contender. That doesn't mean my projections are smart. They're the best team in the league, but like they fit that profile and they hit. So like my decision this week, next week is basically going to be like, should you be in now? Like even with it having shortened, like should you be in now because it is
What do you think?
possible. I think I think at the end of the year, they will be one of the great teams, and the task is figuring out if there will be another one and who that will be, basically. I think they will be one of the great teams. Like I don't think that's like my win total under is tough. Like that's a tough bet, right? Or miss the playoffs, excuse me, is tough. That's a tough bet right now after off of last night. Like could have used a little more uncertainty about everything that was happening. They did everything wrong imaginable from a like single play standpoint, bad turnovers. There weren't a ton of penalties in the game, so I guess you didn't have anything that way, but just like a ton of
Shout out to the
mistakes.
officiating crew last night. The Checkers
Yes.
crew last night was very good. Like, and that is not going to be how things are going to be on Sunday and moving forward, most likely.
Right. And so this isn't, it's not overreacting off of week one because it's just what is the price going to do in the market? Like that's all I care about. Like I don't care about how people feel about Buffalo. But if you enter the season as the favorite and you do that, it just sets up this like race to lower and lower prices probably as we go. And as we play out the schedule and talk about next week and the week after and everything, like there's a chance this price gets really, really short here in the next like 3 to 4 weeks. And, your task is basically like how short is too short with when a team is this good. And when they honestly won a game by 21 where doubled the Rams in yardage in the first half, I think it ended up being worse than that in the second half, yards per play over 7, really like the type of performance that should have garnered like a minimum of 40 points against an opposition. And they're playing the team that won the Super Bowl and they're playing at their place. And that team also brought a lot back from last year. This isn't just like the team that won the Super Bowl and everyone retired. So just like really as much of an exclamation point performance as you can have in just 1 week. Now we have examples of overreacting all the time early in an NFL season, but I'll be honest, like it doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better than what happened last night. And so the prices will be set up kind of with the anchor in last night's performance, which was wonderful.